Brandon's he's progressing well. One thing that he is, he's competitive, he's passionate. The hardest part now is teaching him the little details about being a defensive player and also a cornerback. It's worked out perfectly because Devontae's played so many snaps that he's a sounding board for him. And then by the luck of the draw, we were able to get Priest Willis, who's not eligible, but who's a student of the game, to sit next to him in the meetings and kind of tell him what he's seeing from a guy who's played a lot of games in a big conference.
How realistic would it be for Brandon to be a significant contributor on opening day on September 5th?
Real realistic. That's our plan. And then when we made the move, that was what we thought would happen. He came in the summer and he did as much as he can do. Obviously, we couldn't see that, but we got a lot of reports from other players. In his first week and a half, 2 weeks, he's been everything that we've wanted and more. So we're just excited. He gets a little bit better every day, and now it's just about fine-tuning everything as we get to the season.
I know you still got a scrimmage to go through, but is it potentially could start?
I think he's in the mix, but Nick Harvey has really had a tremendous camp. He's come in and really competed, really has made it a tough deal for Brandon to come take snaps away from him. So Nick's hung in there well. Alex Caesar's had a good camp at that position. And then, we still have, at the safety position, we still have some guys who we feel like can cover. And so at the end of the day, as me and Coach Chavis talk about it as we get closer to the game, we want to get the best 5 or 6 DBs on the field, no matter what their position is.
How pleased have you been with Nick Harvey just in terms of his buy-in, his commitment from the spring until now, Terry?
Nick was a guy who you knew had great ability. And one thing when you go from high school to college, and especially big conferences like the SEC, it's about the guys that you're going against have just as much athletic ability that you have. So Nick had to had to be more consistent with the speed of the game, and I think coming in at training camp, he's done a good job of that.
Devontae Harris has told us throughout the spring and things like that that he is better suited, his skill set's better suited for this style of defense. Do you see that too, and do you see him making significant progress?
Well, I think a lot of it is kind of probably blown out of proportion a little bit. I think, playing defense is making sure they don't catch it, tackle it when they run it, and get some turnovers, so you can do that in any defense. I think, yes, are we going to align more aggressively? Yeah, we'll be in a lot more press man. So if he wants to say that's going to help his season, yeah, but our alignments will be a lot more aggressive. We want to force quarterbacks to throw it in a tight window and for them to block Day, Miles, Quaylen, Dalen, and get the ball out quick. So hopefully we can be in position to do that.
Has he impressed you? Is he continuing to progress, Devontae?
I think the big thing with Devontae is that he's bigger and stronger than he's ever been. He's hopefully, if things go well here the next 2 weeks, he'll be over 180 playing a game for the first time in his career. When you look back at that, that's kind of amazing to say that a guy has been in a place for 4 years, but he's stronger, he's more confident, and it fits what he likes to do. We'll see if it fits his skill set as the season goes.
What kind of impression has Donovan Wilson been making this fall?
Strong, physical, hungry kid who just, gets better over time. He was a kid who probably last year at this time we were saying we're probably going to redshirt him. But he kept getting better and better, played him on some special teams early. And then finally, I got brave enough to start him in the bowl game, and sure enough, he had 9 tackles, 2 TFLs. The tough thing was, the day after the bowl game, he got shoulder surgery. So he missed the spring, but he's bigger, stronger, and faster. And again, it goes back to that 5 or 6 DBs at the same time deal, the best 5.
What's the progress of Justin Evans? Where's he at from where he joined, and where's he at now?
Justin's obviously a fabulous player. When you mix him and Watts, Donovan back there, you got a really trio of guys who can go in and play and not have a lot of drop off. I think the one thing about Justin is he's equally as good against the run as he is against the pass. He can cover, but he can also drop down in the box. He's not a regular, typical junior college guy. He was a qualifier, so he was a baseball player, and so he's so mature and he has great instincts. So I'm excited to see him play, and he's really going to help us out as many different personnel as Arizona State's going to give us.
Such a large group of young defensive backs coming in this fall. Can you talk a little bit about any of those guys possibly making an impact beyond special teams?
Yeah, Justin Dunning is probably the biggest DB I've ever coached. He's done a great job. He's caused a lot of turnovers in these first 2 weeks. Guy has, when you talk about range and wingspan, he has it. He doesn't have to be in a perfect position to make a tackle or interception, and he can go get the ball. He runs better than a lot of people think he does, and he's done a great job. Larry Pryor has got better every day. Again, one of those guys who played quarterback a lot during his senior year, so just getting him to start thinking defensively. Caper Smith from New Orleans, a guy who scores that many touchdowns, you got to think he's a pretty decent player. 79 touchdowns in one season. That's crazy numbers. But one thing about him, he hadn't gotten overwhelmed. He's been fine through everything that we've done. And then Ronnie Elam, another quarterback who, again, he's probably going to be more like a Donovan Wilson. He's long, rangy, fast. We just got to get him stronger where he can hold up in this league.
When Chief goes Mustang and 6 DBs, do you foresee a scenario where 4 safeties could be on the field at the same time? Could Dunning factor into that?
I can see a scenario where it's 4 safeties. I can see a scenario where it's 4 corners. Again, it's a daily evaluation, and the way it works out, I tell them all the time, the more versatile you are, the better chances are you getting on the field. So you got a lot of guys who are asking questions about this position and that position because they know at the end of the day, when we do go Mustang, we'll put the top 6 guys out there and we'll let them go hunt.
Dunning's in that conversation.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Terry.